This episode of Geek-men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds is brought to you by our sponsors, Super 7, Nerd Gear, SWA Sabers, and the Madness Entertainment Group. How's it going, Addie? Ready for another joy of drawing, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oops.
And pretty excited about this one. Someone I ran into on the old TikTok had to do the arm gesture to fully jog my memory of what that is. But it's David Whalen. He's back with us on the Madness. And hey, how's it going?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I mean, I was telling Pops about our upcoming interview, and he's just like, oh yeah, I've met him before. He's a good dude.
We run into each other from time to time.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Apparently this was back when he was just doing the CromCon or something.
Yeah, I think it's been and I think it's been a while since he's done them. So and I saw him just live with Lori a couple days ago, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And Lori's the best.
Yeah. She's she does so much stuff.
Well, I think the word Spitfire is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. That's definitely a word I would use to classify her.
Yeah.
Among others. She's also
hot sauce and all, right? Selling hot sauce and all.
Yes, exactly. Love that hot sauce. But and I mean, she's also my she's a part of the Murder Hobos, a little group we in our D&D session.
Nice.
So it's funny.
Nice.
But,
great name.
Yeah.
Taking back the streets.
Good to see you. And he's saying we have a whole network now. Yeah.
Nice.
That's right. So, let's get into this, I guess. Just jump right in, both feet. So what started you in like doing comics and stuff?
Yeah, so my story starts like many people in my situation at 4 years old when I started reading. 4 or 5 years old, started reading and said, wait a minute, I can do pictures and reading at the same time. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And my brother and I would go. I was probably 6 or 7 years old. My brother was a couple of years older than me, and we'd ride our bikes down across town to this coin shop that had baseball cards, and they had a big pile of Archie and Mighty Mouse and Key comics, the Disney Key comics, and I each for 5 cents. I had $1 in my pocket, so I bought them all up.
Nice.
And we would go around the corner and we'd get milkshakes and share a thing of fries, and he'd look at baseball cards and I'd read comics, and it was the start of my love for the medium. Eventually graduated to going down to the Circle K and getting superhero comic books. From the Circle K, I'd be the kid that'd be sitting there crisscross applesauce, reading all the comics they had lined up at the bottom shelf underneath the candy bars. And of course, they were like, you can't just read them. You got to buy them. And by then, they were like, whatever, just let them read. So here we are, 50 some odd years later, and still, get in trouble for reading comic books.
Yeah, I feel like that happens to everybody.
Yeah.
At some point in their lives.
Yep.
Geez. Man, I miss the good old days when you could actually go into a shop and sit on the floor and read.
Yeah. I think it's a missed opportunity for gas stations and comic books not to be in gas stations. It just how many people my age, our age, that's where they're like, oh, I've got 25 cents. Let me get a Marvel Age. Let me get a Batman. Let me get a whatever it is, and start the love of comic books. Now it's while comic book shops are great. That idea of this is just for the comic nerds sometimes I think hurts our ability to be able to push out into the world a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. But I don't know. It is what it is. So this story you're currently working on Offspring, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how did this story of Offspring come about?
Yeah, so I've had this story for a long time. I'm about to turn 51 years old, and I had these characters since I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a long time coming. I've been working on the book for about 7, maybe a little bit more than 7 years now. So 35 issues published, working on issue 36 right now. I've had a long time to be able to perfect this story.
Mm-hmm.
And really it came about as my want to have a comic book where I felt like I knew the people. Like, you feel like Superman, Batman, like they're characters that you've grown up with your entire life. But I wanted these to feel like characters that could be your next door neighbor, and could have the problems that your next door neighbor, that your best friend, that your whoever your classmate had. But I also was a big fan of monsters and superpowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I started thinking about how could I mold these things together. Well, as the story grew, I started to realize that the characters, the more flawed I made the characters, the more I enjoyed putting them through the ringer, the better the story got. So it really started becoming a story about how we deal with trauma as adults, trauma from our childhood, and how we deal with them as adults in our 20s, in our teenage years, and in our 20s. And so I decided to make these characters all have a shared childhood trauma. They meet at an alternative school, an orphanage. They start to develop, as they start to reach puberty, they start to develop these superpowers, but then realize that they not only developing superpowers, but are becoming magnets for monsters and the paranormal. So the joke that I kind of make is they're battling their monsters on the inside, and they're battling monsters on the outside also.
Yeah. It's like they're manifesting. Yeah.
Yep.
Their trauma.
Yep.
That's cool. Oh man.
Do you say you're 50?
I'm about to turn 51 years old. Yes.
Oh, comics keep you young.
Always young at heart. I still feel like I'm 12. So.
Well, yeah. There you go. I don't. I very much feel like I'm 1 foot in the grave already. But I mean,
well, don't get me wrong. If I were to stand up from this chair right near here, you'd hear a lot of grunting and groaning.
Oh yeah. I hear you. I'm shifting in my chair and I'm feeling my bones crack everywhere I move. It's just like
Just keep moving. That's my motto. Just keep moving. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah. That's cool. So this you don't offer as a Kickstarter, but so where would people be able to go? And I mean, I have Correct Handed Comics in the chat there that people can go and see your work. And then so how is this sort of accumulated?
I do most of my business through Amazon. So if you go to correcthandedcomics.com, there'll be links to my Amazon page that has everything in print and digital. But I've also started branching out into other places, Global Comics. I've been probably the last 6 months or so really like digging into Global Comics and started to build some, grow some more followers in my Global Comics community, in the Global Comics community, and really starting to see some good return from that. Just in people who want to read the book. We all know that we're never going to be able to buy $1 billion mansion off of creating comic books, right? Yeah. But what we lack in getting in money, we're getting in a following, getting in people who enjoy the work that we create, getting the enjoyment of other people enjoying what we're doing. So my hope is eventually to get that $1 million contract. But in the meantime, I'm really happy that I've been able through other social media, TikTok, through Global Comics, through Amazon pages, through all of the social medias, to be able to continue to grow my audience and meet great people that also have a love of comic books.
Nice, dig it. All right, so I want to pull up Correct Comics. Why is it not working? Hang on. It's because I can't type. I want to pull up your website here and just really sort of, you can take a look at it with us and talk about some of the things you got going on.
Sounds great.
Here. Share screen. Comics, share. And then, all right. All right. So, so you have the Offspring 1 of 3. So what issue are you on currently?
This is issue 35 and 34.
Mm-hmm.
So what I try to do is every time there's a new issue, I have the new issue as a spotlight there, and then the issue before that right next to it, so people can kind of see that I'm not messing around here. It's be able to easy access the last 2 issues that I created. And then you'll notice I have a little practice. I did a little fun practicing color page workbook there for any of those aspiring colorists that you want to, grab pages from an independent comic book publisher and try to color them, whether they're using crayons or markers or Photoshop or in whatever they're using to be able to practice coloring comic books. So that was a fun thing that I created there. If you scroll down, it's volumes 1 through 8. There's all the links to my author page, my global comics page, all that stuff. But then you'll notice that 8 volumes of The Offspring, collecting all the way from issue 1 through 33. And then the 2 omnibuy. So I collect them up in seasons for omnibuy. So issues 1 through 13 and omnibus 1 there. And then issues 14 through 27 for the next season. And I'm only let's see, after issue 36 and 37, I'll have omnibus number 3 out, and I'm hoping to have omnibus number 3 out by summer this year. So I'll have 3 collected omnibuy, hopefully by summer of this year.
That's cool. So again, so I you mentioned that it's sort of like facing the trauma inside and outside. Is there any light spoilery things that you're not fully spoiling it, but you can sort of get into a little bit more, like for example type things? Or
so the one of the reasons as I continue to build the story, I realized that my ADHD wouldn't really allow me to stick to one genre for too long. So I started building the story to be able to kind of adjust the genre as I go. So when the first 4 issues that really set up the whole world and set up the story, set up the characters, there it really is more, while the powers are there, the monsters are there, it really is kind of a crime drama for the first 4 issues that's kind of like wrapped inside of superpowers and monsters. The 3 main characters, there's 4 eventually, but the 3 main characters are kind of wrapped into this like search for these missing children, and come to find out that the missing children are being kidnapped by a cult who are using the children as sacrifices for a demon type monster to be able to gain immortality. So as they're searching for these children, really it's a means to be able to get to know these characters. All 4 of the main characters, my goal was to really make sure that they dealt with each other and their trauma in completely different ways. Will is one of the characters who kind of looks like he's got it together at the beginning, but he's what I call the duck on the pond. He's on the surface, it's just smoothly running along, but you go under the surface and it's just craziness underneath. And he's kind of trying to be the glue that holds these other 2 characters with him and together, because they know that they are connected through these powers and through this trauma and through this being magnets for monsters, but they don't quite know why this is happening to them. Vince is a character who is probably the most like me. He's can be, and this is in my early days, I hope so, but he can be a bit obnoxious. He is a bit kind of inappropriate. He doesn't know when to stop talking, doesn't know when to not make the stupid joke. But he's doing that because he wants to push people away. So while Will is kind of staying where he is and just trying to be a stronghold for everybody, Vince is the one that's trying to push people away through all these stupid jokes and being inappropriate. While Sarah, the 3rd member of the group, is the fighter. She is more likely to punch you in the face than smile at you.
Hmm.
And that's just how all three of these characters are dealing with this trauma. She doesn't trust anybody. She doesn't want to trust anybody. And we meet all these characters at a time where they're not doing too good. Sarah is just getting out of prison. Will is, like I said, is kind of stuck where he is in this alternative school where he is teaching. So he's doing something productive, but he's not living to his fullest.
Hmm.
And Vince, we first meet Vince, and he is in such a spot that he's thinking of unaliving himself. So these three characters are, when they meet back up after years apart from graduating from this alternative school, they're not doing well.
Yeah.
They're in the worst parts. They're in the worst time of their life right now. And then meeting up together just kind of reminds them about how different they are, about how much they don't want to be together, because then all these weird things start happening. And the closer they are in proximity, the more the weird things happen.
Okay.
And then they start to search for these children. They start to realize that maybe the powers aren't quite the burden they think they are. Maybe they don't quite hate each other as much as they think they do. And it's just the building of that relationship of these three characters.
Oh, okay. Sounds pretty cool.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Yeah. So, I don't know. This is very interesting, and man, I don't know. This is. I'm speechless, trying to figure out what I'm trying to say here.
Sure.
I'm sure I'll
Well, I'm
think
good
of
at
it
two things:
eventually.
talking and drawing. So if you need me to keep talking, I can keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. This sounds very interesting, and would very much like to get my hands on a copy there. So I'll probably have to do that. Now, are you working on issue 36 now? Is that what I remember you saying? Something
36. I'm about 16 pages into coloring the 24 pages of issue 36. Yes.
Okay, nice.
So I should have that out before the end of February. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Ooh, Valentine's Day. gift for all your women, all your ladies out there.
There you go. Boom.
All the ladies. Yeah, I'm sure that's what every dude wants to get their lady. It's like,
a comic book with monsters and demons and crazy stuff. Sure.
Hey, babe,
Perfect Valentine's Day.
this reminded me of you, because sometimes you're a little out of hand.
Oh yeah. I just saw, that reminds me, there was something that I saw recently. It was like, it's okay to realize that, women are crazy. After all, they fed baby dolls with pretend food, and just okay.
I say women are crazy because they put up with us. That's why.
Behind every crazy man is a crazier woman.
There you go.
Yeah,
we're all a little bit fakakted, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I tell my kids all the time. It's just like, yeah,
how crazy your mom is.
Well, yeah, that too. No. No, I'm like, yeah, everyone's crazy in their own way. You just gotta find someone that matches your crazy. That's all.
There you go.
Like that line from Arsenic and Old Lace. Insanity runs in my family. It practically gallops.
Nice.
Dig it. Let's see what Addie's doing here.
It looks good. I've been watching.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was drawing your people.
Yeah. Eddie might be in trouble. You might be drawing them better than I am.
Yeah.
So what are their names again, from left to right?
That's Vince and Megan and Will and Sarah.
Okay.
Megan is the character that comes on a little bit later. One of the ways that we talked about how each character handles their trauma differently. Megan handles her trauma by running.
Okay.
So for the first 13 issues of the story, we don't even know she exists. She's kind of been forgotten by these other three characters. And then through a series of like flashbacks and events, I start to introduce this character. And she kind of like, for lack of a better term, I guess, kind of like forced ghosts herself to Will and says, hey, you've forgotten about me. I'm here. I'm in trouble. I need help. And then we start to get a little bit more to her backstory and where she's been, why she ran away, what she's been doing and what she's doing while she's kind of searching, mentally searching for help from these three characters, three other people that she knows and has met them, but she doesn't know them. They're not friends. They just happen to be a couple, 12-year-olds that they met at this alternative school. But she knows that there is a connection. So we start to see how Megan is her name, how Megan starts to get used by one of the main bad guys of the series called the Eternity Man, who is aware that this character has these powers, aware that there are other characters that have these powers, and he starts to manipulate her to be able to use his powers for his own selfish means, for his own selfish needs. And as he is doing that, I am lucky enough, we talked about my ADHD, I start to introduce time travel into the story. So now it's not just a crime drama. It's not just monsters and paranormal. Now these characters are starting to be pulled through time, back further in time. And I use time travel as an analogy for the more you know yourself, the more you know about yourself and the world around you, the more equipped you are to be able to deal with it. So I'm using time travel as an analogy for that. And luckily, being able to have these great stories in these different times. I try to pick different times that you wouldn't quite see, like World War I. We've all watched a World War I movie or read a World War I book. But to be able to use World War I, to be able to use the American Civil War, to be able to use ancient Egypt and ancient Rome, and be able to kind of push them back further in time, has been a really fun way to be able to show these characters getting to know themselves and how they would handle these situations in completely messed up ways. Like they're not only getting to know themselves, but also getting to know each other and how they work together as a team. So it really is, again, using time travel as a way to be able to show that if you build your brain, if you build your knowledge of yourself and the world around you, then everything will be less hard because you'll be better equipped to be able to deal with things that come around.
Yeah.
I guess knowledge is power is the phrase that I would use.
Okay. It's coming together like I'm picturing it. It's like, okay, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. So that's the end. That's season 3 that I'm doing. At the end of season 3, these issues, these 3 issue story arc that I'm doing right now, 35, 36, and 37, they actually get pushed so far back in the time that the main bad guy has created enough energy to be able to make his own universe. So now the end of it is this big parallel universe thing where the concept of it is these characters don't think their lives could get any worse.
Oh boy!
And the second you say, "Oh, this couldn't get any worse," what happens?
Yep,
it gets worse. So like just beating these characters down and beating them down is the fun for me of the story, and to be able to continue to build that strength with them.
Yeah. Okay. So it's more like you're challenging them, not like and seeing them rise as you're writing. You're seeing them rise to the occasion, right?
I hope so.
You're not literally just tormenting them just for.
Well, maybe it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I don't know. See, I like I said, I started writing I've written a series of short stories. I'm trying to talk. I can't think. A TV show where it's like, okay, I'm literally torturing them.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's like, I was curious as to what it was for you, but
it's always more fun when they're going through harder stuff, right? I mean, if the character doesn't have a thing to battle or even if it's just on the inside, like how they feel about themselves or how they feel about the world or how they feel whatever. So if they don't have something to push through, like that muck to have to try to like get through, then why are we doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, why tell the story then?
Exactly.
You got to give them a reason. So
Yep.
yeah, makes sense. Oh man, you good over there, Addie?
Yeah, my pen's just being a
Oh,
little
okay.
weird. I got way too much stuff in here. I think it's making the pen wig out.
Oh, okay.
Things just start wigging out. I gotta start deleting files.
Oh boy.
Wigging out. Touchy.
So you
Yep.
you draw, write, letter, everything.
Everything. I'm a one-man band.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been lucky to get some help here and there
Yeah.
from some people who have very graciously, like usually they call up and say, "Hey, I like what you're doing. What do you need?" And there was one guy I was so lucky to meet him, Chris McCauley. He works with Bram Stoker's son, who does the Dracula, and they've been putting out Dracula books. They've been putting out science fiction books. And he just messaged me on Facebook one day and said, "I love what you're doing. What can I do to help?" And I just happened to be kind of falling behind on that story arc that I was doing. And I said, "Oh man, I would love if do you color comics?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Do you want to color a 3-issue story, a 3-issue arc?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I sent him those pages and started, like, within a couple of days, started getting pages back. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is perfect." And it really worked out because it was the first story arc with time travel in it. So it kind of made the book just look a little bit different. So that it kind of really worked out for that time travel. If it was just like a random issue, it would have looked a little weird. But because it was a time travel issue, 3-issue story arc, it really kind of fit in with what was going on because it was the same but slightly off, which is exactly what I was going for. So I've been lucky enough to be able to have some helping hands from time to time. But for the most part, yeah, I write, draw, and color, and letter, and publish all by myself.
So how challenging has that been throughout the years as you're working on this?
Very. I'm lucky I still have this full head of hair because it's been I just jinxed myself. I shouldn't have said that out loud. But it's been challenging. You know, when I first started off, like I said, it's about 7 years ago. It was an uphill battle. I had done a few books for some very small press publishers and done some like 5-issue or 5-page stories here and a couple other things there. But I got about 6 or 7 months into doing stories for other people that I, and was putting out books for them, putting out stories, putting out good pages for them. And I just kind of sat back and said, why am I doing other people's stuff when I could be doing my stuff? So that fell through. I mean, unfortunately, with a lot of small press books, they have these big lofty goals of competing with Marvel and DC. And then a year goes by and they've never put a book out. And that's kind of what happened here. This is hard. Creating comic books is hard. So, so about 6 months into it, I kind of saw that, saw the writing on the wall and said, you guys keep doing your thing. I hope that you're happy with what I've created for you. I'm going to go off and do my thing. And made some great people, made some great friends and people that I still talk to there from what I did there. But realized that if I was going to do it, I've got to do it. So I started doing it. And the beginning was very tough. I'd say the first year I put out maybe 4 issues. But now I can get 5 to 6 issues done in a year.
Okay.
So it's definitely, I've streamlined. I've got my style and I've got my pacing and I've got everything that I need. And I know the story and the characters well enough that it's not a lot of stopping and thinking about it. It's just creating. So I've been really lucky.
Yeah. And I remember seeing some of your process on TikTok where you like sort of storyboard it and then you just like streamline it into the actual panels, right?
Yeah, I do. I think I might have one sitting right here. I do. So I will thumbnail out. These are a mess. Let's see if I can find one that's not a complete mess. So I'll thumbnail it out like this. These are my thumbnails. You can see it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And I'll take notes, and I've kind of written a little bit of the script on the back here in red, so you can't quite really see it. But but it's a mess, but it's my mess.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what I want to do in it. And really, the reason I thumbnail out is because I want to make sure that once I get to the big pages for pencils and inks, there's not a lot of wasted time. So I'll sit and I'll have my little binder with my little rectangles, and I'm like, okay, this panel, not that way. Let me make this a circle. Let me put the panels this way. And I'll do a lot of my thinking in the span of whatever it takes me a week or so to be able to get the thumbnails done. And I'll usually start the thumbnails for the next issue before I'm done with the issue before it. So when I'm sitting watching a show with my wife or my kids or whatever, I'll still be working on that thing. So it'll kind of like start to overlap, and I'll still have the last issue fresh in my brain. It really is, like I said, really is the process that I've got down is really useful, really helpful to me to be able to kind of just keep moving forward. And it's fun. I mean, once you get 36 issues in, you're like, I got it.
Yeah.
let's just keep going. And that's I've really been lucky that I have found my style and my voice to be able to just keep moving forward. I don't have to do a lot of like hemming and hawing. I trust myself. I trust that I know if this panel's not working perfectly, I'll go to another panel and I'll come back to that and I'll find it later. I'm not that worried that I don't get stuck because I know I have enough other things to do to be able to move forward, and I can go back to that other thing later.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very nice, and I'm envious that you don't get stuck or hemming and hawing and stuff like that, because I feel like I would do that. I feel like I would.
Does creating so many characters that have such tough topics and experiences to put in, does that doing that kind of thing and turning it into like a public thing, does it feel like you're publishing almost like a diary for everyone to see, and it's like vulnerable? Because it sounds like it could be.
Sometimes yes, because some of the experiences, some of the things that have happened to me or people that I know in the real world. Clearly not the monsters, but like I said, they're analogies. But it can be a little raw sometimes. But also therapeutic. It's one of those things that the more I get it out, the more the story gets out, the more I feel like I'm okay with it, just because it's mine. And if I'm okay with writing it, I want other people to be able to read it because I'm not the only person that's ever been through something tough. And my hope is really that if one person reads it and goes, there are other people dealing with things too. If they got through it, I can get through it too.
Yeah.
And to be that, like, that voice of there are a lot of people going through a lot of things. The world doesn't revolve around us as individuals. And the more we can have empathy and the more we can reach out to each other and be that helping hand, the better the world would be. We just need to stop fighting each other. We need to stop yelling at each other about stupid stuff, and be a community and help each other. We can have disagreements, fine, no problem. But the more we have empathy and problem solving and critical thinking skills, the easier our lives would be.
Comic therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of issues, we have, as right-handed people, we have issues with correct hand.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Well, the thing is, I'm a recovering lefty, I guess. Is that what you call it? I used to be both, like ambidextrous, but I favored the right hand. But
Sure. Do you think you were supposed to be left-handed, but as growing up, as oftentimes lefties do, the pencil just keeps getting put in their right hand?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably. I would bet that. So you're one of us.
It's like,
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
I'll say my mom told me something, because I used to be ambidextrous. So I would pick up the fork or whatever pencil with either hand. And she said because she knew how the world works, she deliberately put the fork on the right side of my plate and,
wow.
and trained me to become a right-handed person.
It is a right-handed world. I think most right-handed people don't understand how many things are made for right-handed people. But if your dominant hand is your left hand, you're constantly working backwards. You're constantly, like you have to mirror it. You have to mirror it in your brain to be able to do it. And most left-handed people will be, we talk about being ambidextrous. Most left-handed people will be ambidextrous. A mouse, I'll do with my right hand more than my left hand. Stick shift in a car. They don't make those anymore. But stick shift in a car, feel pretty comfortable with my right hand doing that. But I throw and kick with my left and do all those things mostly left-handed. Draw with my left hand. So I was really lucky that even though I grew up in Catholic school, the nuns didn't tie the pencil to my or tape it to my right hand and tape my other hand down and make me do it that way. I think I was just really stubborn. And I just said, no, I'm not gonna play by your rules anymore. But you'll be surprised how many. I can tell you why this little joke about being correct-handed. I used to work at restaurants. I was a waiter, server for many, many years. I loved it. Quick money, friends around. It was fun. Yeah. And every single shift, somebody, at least one table, usually multiple tables, would notice that I was left-handed when I was writing down the order. They would go, "Oh, be careful, he's a lefty. Oh, be careful, he's a southpaw. Oh, you got to watch this guy. You got to watch this guy. He's got demons in him. He's a lefty." And I would hear that every single shift. And I would laugh along. Oh, ha, 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 yeah, lefty. And then I started saying, when people started pointing it out, I said, well, you're right-handed. I'm correct-handed. And usually I'd get a little chuckle. Oh, that's cute, whatever. Some people would get mad. Like, no. That's not what it is. You're left-handed. We're right-handed. You're left. Like, it was like some people would get really mad. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get a tip from this guy. But it was worth it. And then when I started, wanting to create my own publishing company, I had a couple other ideas for the name of it. And I had a couple things, I'm a child of the 80s. So I had a couple things from the 80s that I kind of making sure they weren't copyrighted or I could use that kind of phrase or name or whatever. But it wasn't really sticking. I wasn't completely happy with it. So at one point, somebody had made, a comment that I was a lefty. And I said, no, I'm not left-handed. I'm correct-handed. And I said, that's it. Correct-handed comics. That's it. Why haven't I been thinking? Why have I been wasting my time with all these things? Like the logo is there, a left hand, correct-handed comics. It's perfect for me. And I drew up the logo that same day and never looked back.
Nice. And we're just joking around with you.
You say you're joking around, but I don't believe there's always a little bit of truth to you righties and your superiority.
I can't remember why I stopped drawing with my using my left hand. I don't know. Maybe I feel like it was because it is kind of difficult depending on which which side you focus on when you draw. I guess sometimes.
Well, that creative side is our right side, right? And the right side controls our left side of our body. Right side of our brain controls the left side of our body. Yeah. So I really just do think that my right side of my brain was just so aggressive that it wouldn't allow a pencil to be put in my right hand. So and I'm lucky. If they had forced me to be a righty, would I be 36 issues into my own comic book? Probably not.
If you were right, you would be wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's always something like that. But so speaking of being left-handed, and this is something that Addie and I talked about. Have you ever had smear smudges and stuff from writing left-handed? And
all the time. How do
you manage to not do that?
At this point, I don't. If it smudges, it smudges. When I'm writing, it's not that big of a deal. I think that I've gotten to a point where, so if I'm writing here, I've got my little manila pad here. So if I'm writing, I'm not writing across, I'm not dragging my palm across. I'm turning my paper this way and writing like this. So I'm almost kind of writing upside down. Okay. As I go across. So even if I'm dragging my hand across, I'm not actually touching the pencil or whatever it is. And as I go down the ink, whatever it is,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little tricky when I draw because I'll be kind of all over the place with it. And I'll just make sure that I have a smudge sheet with me, or making sure that I'm being very careful about where I'm resting my palm as I'm drawing. And I do think, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I don't think I really rest my palm on the paper. I think I have my palm up as I'm drawing so that it doesn't drag across. Okay. So I mean, it might be something that I just developed over time and didn't even realize it. Yeah. To not smudge stuff as I'm writing.
Yeah, because I mean, I used to draw quite a bit, but I always had the smudges and stuff, and it's like, and I'm not left-handed, and I still had smudges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But you know.
Yeah, it's one of the things you deal with. When I'm teaching, because I'm a teacher during the day, most right-hand students don't really have to worry about that because they're writing and drawing from the left, and then we go across. Usually, sometimes we'll start in the middle and work our way around, but still, they're not like dragging their hand across. So it's not really something that they have to worry about. But we still use smudge sheets just in case.
Yeah. So you're an art teacher?
Yes, I teach art.
Oh,
yep.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you seem like a fun art teacher. Some of them are snobby.
Well, yeah. I'm sure some think I'm fun. I'm sure some think I'm not. So.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I had a absolute horrible art teacher back in the day. She just basically like looked at me and she's like, "Yeah, just quit while you're ahead. Don't bother with that."
I didn't like
you like art. Don't bother with that.
Yeah. That's a shame. Unfortunately, I've heard many horror stories like that. I always tell students that, don't like students will walk in the first day and say, "I don't know how to draw," and I'll say, "That's okay. It's my job to teach you how to draw." So as long as you're showing effort and you're trying, you'll be just fine. And I taught elementary for about 14 years. And it happened every once in a while that a student would walk in kindergarten, first grade. I'm not a good drawer. I'm like, don't worry, just have fun. We're having fun. We'll learn how to draw and fine. And then students will leave in fifth grade and walk out and go, "Thanks for teaching me how to draw." I'm like, yeah. It's just like riding a bike. Anybody can do it if you learn the rules, right? Anybody can draw. It's just a matter of training your brain to see what's out here, how to put it in your brain, and how to put it on the paper.
Yeah.
It's fun. Cool. Somewhere along the line, at maybe age 11 or 12 or 13, we stopped drawing. I don't know why.
Because we get bored. I mean, not bored. We become boring.
No, I would agree with that. That on some level, yeah. That's it's kind of like you're too worried about being cool than doing a thing that you like, right? I'm left-handed. She whacked my hand with a ruler. Yeah. I told Dad about it, and he went to school. And heck no, yeah. I never. Well, even though I went to a Catholic school, I don't remember ever getting whacked. Punished, yes. Whacked for writing with my left hand. I don't remember that, but they did try to put it in my right hand. I'd put it back, and then I put it in, and then they were like, "Whatever, do whatever you want."
Yeah. So I went to the same school as my sister, and so when she was asked me, "Oh, what do you think about this teacher and all that?" And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, she doesn't do that." Apparently, there was this teacher who used to be a nun who would go around and smack the people's desks, and if they weren't paying attention, or whatever the case was, she would walk around with that ruler in her hand, ready to wail on someone. I was like, "Oh well, nope, she didn't do that." And these days, so I guess I was lucky in that case.
Yeah, there are times as a teacher that you need to be a little bit more upfront with students, but for the most part, if you just be yourself and smile, the kids will be fine. There's always kids that no matter what you do, will fight against you, but you hope that they at least get enough of the information that they can move forward and be a productive member of society when they're done. I hope.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. But so Um, I don't. I know we still have some time here, but uh, what questions do you feel like that haven't been asked that you really want people to know about your book and whatnot?
Yeah, I would say that as an independent creator, one of the problems that we have is that a lot of people don't want to jump on board because they don't know, and maybe rightfully so on some level, they don't know if the story is going to get finished. Like, you start something, an independent book, and you're like, yeah, it's a 4-issue miniseries, and then you get 2.5 books into it, and then nothing ever shows. The third and fourth book never show up.
Yeah.
And that's a real concern, I think, for a lot of people. And I think that comic book people, lovers, have been burned in the past. But I think that now in the 21st century, we've never lived in a time where it is easier, even though it's a difficult thing to create. It's easier, never been easier to be able to create your own comic books, to be able to publish your own comic books. So I would say for anybody who maybe is Marvel and DC fans and are very loyal to them, maybe just kind of branch out into some independent creators and see where they're going, and I also know that because there's a lot of great stuff. Oh my gosh, a lot of great stuff out there that is completely different from what Marvel and DC are creating. And I would say that I know that, as an independent creator, people hear that I'm reaching towards 50 issues. And my whole series is going to be 50 issues, and I'm working on issue 36, and they're like, that's great. But what if you don't get to 50 issues? What happens then? I'm going to get to 50 issues. But I created a series of one-shots. So I have 2 graphic novels. I have 5 one-shots. I have a 4-issue miniseries. And my hope is that those smaller stories, those one-shots or the graphic novels or the 4-issue miniseries can kind of act like a bridge to wanting to jump on board with my longer storytelling with the Offspring. So if somebody picks up, Latent Lightspeed, one of my graphic novels, or one of my 24-page one-shots, Will Aliens Do My Homework, or The Sock Hop Killer, and they pick those things up and enjoy the stories, that they'll go, okay, let me get to volume 1 and 2 of the Offspring, and let me see where he's going with this, and hopefully see what I'm creating is worth reading, and a fun story with some deep underpinning issues, but also enough action and adventure and fun to be able to move forward without crying too much as you're reading the story.
Yeah, I hear you there. Because Lori has her campaign and Path of the Pale Rider, and it's like that also is pretty intense too sometimes.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but man, so we can look forward to 36 come in sometime in February.
Yeah.
You think you'll be done, and then you said the third omnibus some like in spring or summer?
I'd say summer, because issue 37 is going to be in the end of the season 3 of the series. 4 seasons, so from 37 all the way to 50 will be 38 all the way to 50 will be season 4. So 4 seasons, breaking it up into 4 seasons, and each one have their different concepts, their different the different things that they're trying to concepts that the kids are trying to get through. So it's breaking up into 4 seasons really helps me as a storyteller to be able to make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row. But yeah, issue 37 is going to be into season 3, and the omnibus will come out. I've already got the cover ready to go, and it's already starting to build the omnibus with all those 13 issues, so that it can be ready to go hopefully by midsummer-ish, beginning midsummer.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm excited. People, when I started this 7 years ago, said, "Don't try to do 50 issues. You're never going to make it," and which is probably good advice.
Yeah.
But if I would have taken it, I wouldn't be at 36 issues right now.
Right.
So,
well, I feel like there was a lot of that is people that were like still stuck on George R. R. Martin, like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't try to do something insane like that.
Yeah.
It's never been done before. You're a madman.
Yeah. And I would say that my advice would be too, don't start with 50 issues. Do a one shot, do a 4-issue miniseries, do this, get something smaller created. And then if you have 50 issues you want to try to do and you're young and stupid enough to do it, like I wasn't too young, but stupid enough to do it,
Yeah.
give it a shot. If you don't do it, you won't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. That sounds like pretty sound advice.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I appreciate you coming on. And this was a blast.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Real fun. I can't wait to see Addie's finished drawing here. Are we gonna be able to see a little bit more of it?
Yeah.
That's what we're waiting on here. I'm trying to figure out how to get this back up. There we go. Yeah.
Boom.
She does really great work, and
Awesome.
it's she has a really unique style, and it's and she's so fast. Like,
yeah, it looks great.
She as we're on the show, we usually get like through 3, usually 3, maybe 4 little drawings with that little spinner wheel thing that we have going.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, oh, we're running out of time.
This one got too weird. It slowed me down. Yeah.
Yeah, well, next time I come on, I'd love to be able to draw and do the spinner. If you're willing to have me on, I'd love to be able to do the spinner wheel and do some weird drawings with it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And if you stream, do you stream on TikTok?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can. I've been trying to figure out how to do more streams and stuff. We can always collaborate if you wanted to. I'm pretty sure it lets you do a duo streams with people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest, in the let's see, I've been really focusing on TikTok. I still do all my social medias and try to do something 2, 3, 4 times a week on all my other social medias. But I've gained more followers on TikTok in the last year than I did with all my other social medias in the last 2 years.
Right. That's how it worked for me a little bit. I'm trying to get back on because I've pooped out 2 kids and I'm done. So now I'm trying to get back into streaming.
There you go. I'm kind of the same way. My son is in his almost graduated college. Oh my gosh. And my daughter's a senior in high school. So they're like, do whatever you want, Dad. We don't care. I'm like, okay, great.
My husband's always like, stop telling people you pooped out your children. I'm like, well, I did.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Are you aware of that experience, sir? I don't believe so.
I've seen it happen, but I can't say that I've done it myself. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't even say that at we pooped out 2 kids because April had my wife had 2 C-sections, unfortunately.
Yep.
Oh geez, yeah.
So but I do know that it takes a lot of work. So I know that.
Women are stronger. That the central thesis, women are stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. But
it's the hormones, the adrenaline.
I will say I have given birth to kidney stones.
Oh, geez.
Those are not fun.
Not fun.
And I don't know this for sure, but every woman I have talked to that's had kidney stones said they would rather have given birth than to go through the pain of a kidney stone.
Well, at least the pain ends up something. You get a baby out of it.
Yeah.
Kidney stone is just
Yeah. I mean, you could put it like on a chain or something, but I don't know if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, well,
wear it around your neck.
Yeah, that would be in one of our weird junk drawers. My dad would put his in a junk drawer in the medicine bottles. I'm like, ew.
Nice.
Take them out, show them to my friends when they visited.
Yeah.
Ew.
I feel like I had something like that at one point, but it's one of those things. Just depends on how weird you are, and if you're not ashamed of being weird.
Yeah, it's fun being weird.
Yeah. I tell my kids all the time, it's like, look, you're weird, I'm weird, everyone's weird. All right.
How are you gonna not be weird if you're weird? You can't. Sometimes it's not a choice.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
You can't hide it.
Yeah, I have a shirt on the way. Apparently, my wife bought it for me. But I showed her a shirt that I found that I want, and it said, "I had a stroke. I'm allowed to do weird things." And
Yeah.
she's like,
Nice.
"There you go."
Nice. That's great. I think one of the funniest things that I keep seeing is there's this thing about like people are always kind of afraid to be themselves, or they're afraid they're going to get judged or whatever. But I keep seeing this thing where people are like, that moment you remember you have free will, and they're like walking through the mall in a chicken costume, or like what I mean, like doing just something just stupid and funny and whatever, and like, yeah, do it. Who cares?
Yeah, how are they going to remember you if you're just like everyone else?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Boring.
Which
Boring, right? Do your own thing.
I know there's a time and a place to do those types of things, but at the same time, how it would be so random if this one random event happened that would cause you to do it. So it's like, well, okay.
Sometimes random is good, right?
Yeah. Got to do what you do.
Yeah, we only do weird stuff on this show lately. It was like, I wonder how weird can I be, and then Dustin's like, do it. I'm like, okay,
do it.
It's weirder from here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've definitely done some weird stuff on the show, and yeah. Well, and okay, so she was drawing. What was it? It was the Pete guy, Pete from.
Oh yeah, I think I already deleted that.
she drew Pete, one. And there was
nice.
The other wheel we spin tells you what situation they have to be in. So it was Pete, and and he had to be naked or
it was hairless.
Yeah, it was hairless.
Yeah, so Pete's hairless.
Yes.
So we're like, how many nipples does he have? And it got real gross.
Yeah.
I didn't think Pete could be scarier.
Right. I put overalls on him. It was too shocking.
Yeah. I told her to go ahead and just it's a hairless / no clothes, and it's like, but she went back and added the clothes because it was too weird for her.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah, goofy stuff. Swimsuit model.
Yeah.
I don't know why the phone got put there.
That's funny.
But yeah, we have some weird and fun
love it
shows here.
Love it.
Yeah.
But we will definitely have you back on, and we'll do the spinning wheel at that time. So
yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll come up with a better word than spinny wheel. I just can't think of anything right now.
Spinny wheel sounds great.
Yeah, spinny wheel. But until next time, Correct Handed Comics. Watch for your upcoming issue 36.
That's
it.
It
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the next season of your trade paperback volume this summer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
All right. So again, thanks for coming on, and we'll definitely be talking to you later. And
sounds great.
Yeah. So have a good one. And until next time, Thunder Nerds ho.
Woo.
I don't want that. I want this one. Bear with me.